When you go off to where you're going to go, are you going to take all your kids? Or are you going to leave them here?
All three of them.
What are their names again?
John O.
John O. Because he's just Jonathan, but John O.
Yeah.
It's a British nickname, sort of.
Is it?
Or Australian?
What?
The friend I had and growing up was Jono.
Oh, okay.
So I think.
Was this a real friend or an imaginary friend?
He was real.
Oh, he's real. Okay.
We've met a couple of Jonos.
Jono.
In South Africa. We met a Jono, and
so that's why it's a British kind of a thing.
British connection.
So Jono, and then
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah.
And the oldest is Liam.
The oldest is Liam. How old are they now?
7, 9, 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
7, 9, 11. Yeah. How have they liked being here this year?
They've loved it.
They've loved it. It's been a huge blessing.
Yeah.
They really like Churchill and their teachers, and it's been
who's one of their teachers? What's her name again? Mrs. Sophie Brantley, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've heard she's amazing.
She has been such a gift to us this year for sure.
Yeah. You like, is Gavin here?
It's Liam's
teacher.
Oh, it's Liam's teacher. You like Mrs. Brantley? Yeah.
That's Gavin. That's Gavin.
Liam's
Liam's in the gym.
Oh, Liam took
and
off.
Liam really likes her.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe sometime he'll come back. So
she'll write like super encouraging notes on his papers that she's probably maybe in public school. Well, it's just not typical for those kind of comments to come from teachers in public school, but
that's right.
She's lovely.
Yeah, child of our church here.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, she did a little bit of work for us one summer, and it was really wonderful to have her on staff too. Did you know that?
No,
I didn't know.
Yeah, she was an intern with Justin and Elena, and she did her work at Taylor. So it was great. It's great having her on staff, and then her mom is here, Lisa. Yeah. So when are you guys taking off?
So the day school ends is June 13th.
Okay.
And we'll get in the car and we'll drive straight through the night to Texas.
Oh, okay.
Where we'll have a family get-together for Krista's side of the family, and then we have orientation for Mercy Ships.
Oh.
That begins that next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll have orientation until we fly on July 12th.
Yeah. Put that microphone right underneath your chin there. There you go.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to have orientation in Texas, and then where are you going? What's the service that you're going to be doing? Something in Madagascar, right?
That's right. Yep. We'll be working with the Mercy Ships.
Okay.
Yep. Do you know about them?
I do, but why don't you describe that to me?
You can jump in anytime.
Oh, why don't you describe it? I think that was his cue.
It's
a not so subtle cue.
I don't want to hog
You tell us.
Okay, so they are the largest non-governmental hospital ships in the world.
Oh.
They kind of came out of YWAM.
Yeah.
If you know YWAM,
I do.
used to be part of YWAM. And do you remember the year that they started?
Started in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So their mission is to bring hope and healing to the world's forgotten poor.
Yeah.
And so they travel. Right now, they're kind of along the coast of Africa. So there's one serving the west coast and then one kind of serving the east coast.
Okay.
And we're going to be on the one on the east coast, which is currently in Madagascar.
Okay.
So we'll join them there. And they dock for 10 months at a port. And then they provide free surgeries and medical education for whatever country they're in.
Yeah.
And then,
What kind of surgeries do they do on board?
They do a lot of orthopedics.
Okay.
So like what Dr. Mead did.
Yeah. Through Cure.
Through Cure, exactly. They do a lot of large benign tumor removal.
Yes.
They don't take care of cancer because that's more of a long-term care situation. So they just do whatever they can take care of it within 10 months of them being there. They do a lot of ophthalmological surgery.
Okay.
They do a lot of fistulas. What's that called?
I think it's called the fistula.
VVF.
Yeah.
So, And then they do general surgery as well, like hernias and your bread and butter kind of surgeries. But
Yeah.
And cleft lips.
Oh yeah, lots of cleft
cleft
lips and
lips.
palates. Yeah.
How many surgeries do you think they do while they're docked?
I know that I think this rotation in Madagascar, they want to exceed 1,700 surgeries in the 10 months that they're there. So
300 days, so about half or 3/4 of a surgery every day. That sounds about right. That's a lot.
yeah.
Or is it 5 a day?
Is it 5 a day? You said 300 or 17. Oh, you're right. Right, it's
They're
5
there
a
for
day.
10 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them, like these huge tumors,
Can
they'll
take
take
Hours.
more than a day. Well, like 10 or 12 hours, for removal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a really big online presence. Like they have a really good media program. So
Yeah.
it's there's a lot of videos on YouTube that explain exactly what they do.
So will you be living in Madagascar or will you be living on the ship?
Yeah, we'll be on the ship actually.
Okay.
So they have about 400 crew that live on the ship, and about 2/3 of them are support staff. So engineering, education, maintenance.
Galley.
Yeah, like the food
Cooks
galley, cooks, and
Okay.
There's a barber on board. There's like
Yeah.
everything you would need. It's a small city.
Yeah. So what will
Yeah.
what will you guys be doing?
you can share what you're doing.
So I'll be the transportation and maintenance manager.
Okay.
So I'll be kind of in charge of everything off of the ship.
Oh,
So like dockside, I'll be organizing the dockside, like deliveries coming in and going out. And
Okay.
they have, they call them hospitaners. So these little buildings that they have on the dock where they start IVs. They do a lot of screening for patients when they first come to the ship.
I see.
And then they have a fleet of like 30 vehicles they use to go out into the country to screening centers to bring patients to the hospital. So I'll manage that fleet of vehicles from a maintenance standpoint. And then they have an onshore, it's kind of like a hostel. So patients will come and they'll live in this place while they wait for surgery, and then as post-op after they have surgery, or in between surgeries, because many times they have to do several surgeries on the same patient. So they'll live in this hostel. And so it's like 250 beds. So they feed them and they, water and power and wastewater and taking care of all the logistics of that. So I'll be in charge of that maintenance as well.
Yeah. People like you just amaze me because basically I can lead a Bible study, but lead me to a car and I wouldn't know what to do. So that's without you, we wouldn't have anything else going on.
And people like you amaze me.
Well, I tell me more.
That's the beauty of the body, right?
Yeah,
like,
right. It really is. Yeah.
Don't put me in front of the church. Don't do it. But I'd be happy under the hood of a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What will you be doing, Krista?
So we're learning a lot about maritime law, and apparently if there's a family working on a ship, if one person is employed full-time, the second one is given the title of PCG,
Primary caregiver.
primary caregiver. And so that's my official role, is just that they need somebody that's in charge of the kids. But because there's a full academy on board, most of the primary caregivers find work in another field while their kids are in school.
Okay.
And since I'm a nurse, they said that I could find a nursing role, but I don't choose it until I'm on the ship, and they really want you just to have time to kind of settle in and figure life out. And then I can shadow in a bunch of the services. So I'm really interested in doing, I'm talking to a nurse on the ship right now who says they need help in pre-op. So just helping draw labs and start IVs and things like that for the patients. And I'm also very interested in palliative care. So there's several cases where we can't actually treat it surgically, like for a terminal cancer. And so in those cases, they will send the patient home with palliative care. And then there's a team of us that would go do home visits and provide like dressing changes for wounds, pain management, things like that for long-term care. So.
I find the term palliative very interesting. I had somebody who asked me one time to help her with a PowerPoint presentation. She's going to describe palliative care to a bunch of doctors, and So we kind of went through that. So how would you describe palliative care? What does palliative mean?
I would say helping somebody in their life well.
Okay.
Like in a summary.
A little bit before hospice. And
Yes.
connected with hospice.
Connected to hospice. I think hospice is reserved for the final 6 months
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
The palliative is before that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess patients can come off of hospice, but and palliative care
Yeah.
if they somehow get better. But
So at the end of the day, will you retire to your cabin? Is that where you're going to live? On board. Okay.
yeah.
What do you, I just wonder, what do you think about that? Is that going to be fun? You don't know what it's going to be like, or are you looking forward to it? Or
Yeah, I think it's going to be very close quarters with
Yeah.
a lot of people. I know we were really, there's all different sorts of cabins that we've heard about. And so we were really praying that we were going to get a cabin with a main bedroom for us. And we just found out that we didn't get one, but that's okay. So our bedroom is also our living room and our dining room.
Okay.
Our bed just folds out of the wall into the living room. But the boys have there's 2 little rooms for the boys.
Okay.
So they
Connected, or they have to go out into the hallway and then?
No, they're all
Connected.
within
Okay.
our cabin.
Yeah.
So we have a little kitchenette with a little fridge. I think it'll be we have a bathroom that our family has.
Are they serving like a meal to everybody on board, right? You go to like a mess hall or something like
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, they have a cafeteria.
Yeah. Are you going to be involved in food prep or anything like that?
I hope not.
You're just going to be
Yeah.
on the receiving end. Yeah. I always want to be on the receiving end of the barbecue that Luke Austin does, but sadly, never am. Even though he did offer the last time, so he's a kind person. So you're going to be in Madagascar for 10 months.
So the ship actually arrived there in February.
Okay.
So they're kind of there through the calendar year.
Okay.
So we'll join in July, and then we'll be there until December.
Okay.
And then there's a rumor. Well, we don't really know where the ship will go next. Somebody does, but we're not privy just yet.
Okay.
There's a rumor they might stay in Madagascar for another calendar year,
Okay.
or maybe go somewhere else. So it's kind of exciting to not know where we will be in the world next year.
Yeah.
But
not a lot of sailing until you guys pull the anchor up and start going somewhere.
exactly, yeah.
And I think that they could go anywhere in the world, right? They could decide that they're going to go to, say, like Korea or something like that and just sail over there, right?
Yeah, they kind of have a mandate that they don't go anywhere that they're not invited. So it has to be a government invitation. So I guess it just depends on who invites them. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they really are focusing on the coasts of Africa right now with
Yeah.
the 2 ships that they have.
Yeah, that's great. Is your stint of duty, is it like, are you signed on for 4 years, 5 years, forever? How does that work?
Our initial commitment is 2 years,
Okay.
and then we'll see how it goes. And
Yeah.
there's people that have been on board for 40 years. They've raised their families on board, and their kids have actually come back to serve on the ship. And
Wow.
but other families do 2 years, and then they move on. So we'll see.
It's hard to know what it's going to be like,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
How are your boys feeling about being on a ship? You're looking over. He gives a thumbs up. He says, yeah.
yeah, I think they're all excited. I think it's going to be a new adventure for them. There's about 40 kids in their school,
Okay.
but the students come from all over the world. So I know, like in our kids' classes, there will be kids from Switzerland and Germany and Australia and New Zealand and South Africa and Kenya and the UK, America, Canada. Like they're from all over the world. So I think that'll be a really unique experience for them.
Yeah.
I think, leaving Burundi was hard for all of us. So another thing that's really cool about this this opportunity is that while the ship is docked for 10 months, then they usually go somewhere for those 2 months that, in order to do some maintenance on the ship. And so I think the kids are really excited about going back to Burundi. We're all excited about going back to Burundi to kind of jump back into life there. And
we hope
that's what we hope to do, like to split our time because when the ship is in maintenance, the hospital's closed. So
Yeah. Will that be like summer vacation for you guys? Like when you go back to Burundi, I think that they'll just put you to work, won't they?
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
Well, they'll play, and
Yeah.
we'll try and chip in wherever we can. And
Have they given you like a schedule? Like this is what a typical week looks like. You get a day off. How does you know what the rhythm of a week on ship is going to look like?
I think it's because most surgery, 99% of the surgery is elective. They do just try and work 5 days a week. And then the weekends are off.
Okay.
Typically, I mean, there's going to be nurses on duty throughout the weekend to take care of patients.
Yeah.
But Sunday nights they have a community gathering. Well, they have kind of like Bible studies all throughout the week, which is they take really good care of their crew. There's a very strong spiritual emphasis there, and both for the patients as well as for the crew. So there'll be a service on Sunday nights that everyone joins together to worship. They really encourage you on Sunday mornings to get involved in a local church.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that to go. I mean, you can leave the ship whenever you want, but
Yeah. Well, what's the city that you'll be docked at in Madagascar?
it's called Toamasina.
Toamasina.
We think it's the third largest city. The capital is inland.
Okay.
And so we're on the coast, of course. And so
How many people in Toamasina do you know?
we should know that.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of quiz questions to see how much you know. No, kidding.
I'm guessing maybe 100,000, 200,000. It's not huge. Yeah, it's not huge.
Yeah, I know the patients come from all over, like 10 different districts in Madagascar. So it's not just serving that city, but they screen the whole country for years prior to ship's arrival and line up all the surgeries. So.
Yeah. What could you tell us about Madagascar? Like, what is it like?
Madagascar has been on our travel list for a long time. It's a very unique place. We've been told that it has like the most unique flora and fauna of like compared to the whole rest of the African continent. It has more species, unique species than the whole rest of the African continent. So there's a lot of really unique stuff there, and it's very beautiful. We hear that they have unique like the lemurs and those kind of animals are very unique. There's a really popular movie that was made about Madagascar.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I have.
It's self-titled.
Yes. Came out when my children were children, so I saw every film that was ever put out in those days. So Madagascar was on,
It's consistently in the lower portion. I mean, it's one of the poorest countries in the world. So, Mercy Ships has done a lot of work there in the past, and I think there's still a lot of work to do. So,
Yeah. Are you looking forward to, in addition to the work, is there like, do you have the heart of a tourist? Or are you going to go out and look at some things, or what is going to happen on your days off?
We don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we will try to get in and see parts of the country. In comparison to Burundi, we've had a lot more people volunteer to visit us in Madagascar. That tells you anything about the country.
Well, I think it kind of strikes because of that movie, and probably because it is probably interesting and beautiful and unique. So, yeah, we should probably elect somebody on our staff to go.
Probably.
Probably.
So
I see that hand.
Luke volunteers. I had a feeling that would happen. So, when's the departure date again? And then, relative to departure date, what can we be thinking and praying for you in the coming time?
Yeah, so our departure from Michigan will be June 13th.
Okay.
And then our departure from the U.S. will be July 12th. So just a month later.
Yeah.
as you can imagine, there's just a lot of logistics that need to happen between now and then, in terms of packing up and closing up, and a lot of last meetings. You know, our calendar is filling up so fast with people that we haven't seen yet on our furlough and that we're trying to meet with. God has really blessed us with a lovely support network of so many people all over the country, and so we're so thankful for that. Just closing up and transitioning with the boys. We are trying to shepherd them well. Another transition, I think, leaving Burundi, as Krista mentioned, was really hard. But I think we've talked through that a lot. We did a little retreat together with them, but this will be another big transition, and hopefully we can join that community well and be a positive part of it.
Yeah, I think that would be my biggest prayer request, is for our boys just to be okay.
Yeah. Well, not a lot of us have the experience of, coming to live in where we were born, but have the feeling of it being not really where our heart is, and then going back to someplace where maybe it's new, but it's also that's more of where we feel called or heart. So like you're in the United States, you're from the United States, but your heart is in Africa. Mm-hmm. So I think was that a fair thing to say?
Sure.
So what are the how would you describe for people who haven't really experienced that? What's the range of feelings from like coming here and then wanting to go there, and then now you're going to be able to go back? What's sort of the things that you're feeling right now? I know I'm asking you to talk about how you're feeling, but.
Yeah, go. I'm going to think about it for a little bit.
I'd say we're both really excited. I think, we're really excited when we just bought our tickets 2 weeks ago, and we're like, okay, this is real. So really excited, and there's going to be a lot of newness. So that's a little, you got to learn the system. You got to learn the culture of the boat. We had a culture with our team there in Burundi that we were very comfortable with, and we loved our team there. But this will be a different culture and different expectations. And so learning all of that, that's going to take time, and transition's going to take time. Just going back to Africa, where I feel like life can be simpler. It excites us. We'll definitely miss. I don't know if we so much miss America, but we miss the people here in America that are friends and church family, and we do miss some conveniences, and we miss chips. I really like chips.
Like potato chips?
Yeah, any kind.
Yeah, they're not very cost effective to ship, are they?
No,
like
and they're hard
Fritos.
to ship.
What's your favorite chip?
Oh, actually, at the moment, it's these jalapeno chips from Aldi.
At the moment,
they're so good.
You don't get enough processed carbohydrates in Africa.
No, we don't have the high fructose corn syrup and all the rest. So,
I don't know if you want to add anything to that, or you feel like that's.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I think when we left Burundi, we weren't really sure. We were looking for some more educational support, and so we left not really knowing what we were going to do next. And so I feel like we were praying pretty diligently for peace and joy in our hearts as we walked this unknown journey. And I feel like God really met us with that peace and joy. But I do feel like the closer we get to our departure, the more the unknowns and I guess I can get concerned about the kids or how things are going to go. And so I feel like anxiety creeping back in.
Oh, okay.
I think I would ask for prayer that we hold on to that peace and joy.
Yeah.
Fight for it.
Well, it's an amazing thing. I think a lot of people would be overcome by the anxiety of just simply going to Madagascar, but it almost feels like that's a secondary thing. It's more the sort of relational things that you have going on and with your own relationship and with your kids. And so we'll be praying for that. So,
Yeah, we really do. I don't know if you remember our conversations there at Toast and Jams in maybe September. We really didn't know like what we would be doing. We could have been, maybe moving back to the States, but of course, like you say, our hearts are back there, and so we really feel blessed to be able to, still serve and still do something that is so close to our hearts, and also be responsible with our kids. We really feel the Lord's kindness in leading us this way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Caleb and Krista, we're sad that you're going to be going. I mean, we really are, but we're also very, very happy for you in following the Lord's calling, and we always will feel connected to you and praying for you, and I know that we'll stay in touch. So, the Lord's blessings on you as you travel.
Thank you. Thanks
and
so
let
much.
us say thank you. Forest Park is always a safe, nice, easy landing for us to come back to, and you guys have always been so welcoming. And
we had the best small group this year too.
Yeah.
Who was in your small group?
Love our small group.
You're gonna be jealous if we tell you. You're in the Mead small group.
Oh, okay.
So we had Rec Nagels, the Halls, the Butkoviches,
Mel and Bev.
Mel and Bev.
Yeah, what a group, huh?
It's a great. We really enjoyed them.
Yeah, we want to try to kind of reignite our small groups and get more and more people into them. So really glad that was
that.
Yeah. Well, good. You guys want to come over here and say anything on the microphone?
William, he had a question about Mrs. Brantley.
Oh yeah, come on over here.
Mrs. Brantley.
You want to say something? Go over to your dad and put the headphones on there, so you can kind of hear yourself talk. And then you have to sort of come up to the microphone. So what is it that you wanted to say about Mrs. Brantley?
That she's like the best teacher I've had.
Oh yeah, she is. You hear that, Sophie? You're the best teacher he ever had. She is. She's an amazing person. So good. You want to give her? That's a good shout out. So how about you guys? You guys want to say anything? No. John was no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just kind of, you could be on there he is right there. So, well, that's it. That's it for today.
All right.
Yeah. Did you hear it all over there? Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Jono, did I hear a big old clunk over there?
We did this differently. I don't know if you noticed it. I didn't even say we're getting started. No. Yeah, because we've discovered that when you start doing that, it makes people go, so I just sort of start, and then it's, then people are, you want to say something into the microphone? No, you should. It's your once in a life. Well, maybe not your once in a lifetime. You could be a movie star.
What do you want to say?
No.
Hey.
You could say your name's Gavin Fader and you approve this message.
Yeah, that'd be.
My name's Gavin Fader.
Please.
You have to say it right here.
Oh yeah. My name's Gavin Fader. I'm excited for Mercy Ships.
All right.
Peace. He says. All right. Nothing, Jono? Not one thing? Just a bunch of head nods? Not even a grunt? All right. All right. We're all set then.